Welcome to JA Advisory. Master yourself, master the universe. Greetings and blessings. Jamal here again, and today I wanted to talk about information. I wanted to remind you to put things to the test. Don't just take anything at face value unless you already know it through experience and you have put it through the test. Even what I'm telling you in this video, don't just trust me, don't just listen to me, think about it and take action if there's action to take, and see if what I'm saying is true. Can you test it? And I'm making this video because I just have to say, don't trust everything you see online or in any form of media for that matter. There's so much information. We're in the age of information. We're in the attention economy, and there's a huge overload of information where we're constantly being bombarded by all kinds of things, all kinds of inputs into our mind, into our nervous system. And really, I see a lot of terrible advice on the internet, especially on, Instagram, social medias, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. I just have to think, like, what's their base of knowledge that they're sharing from? And that goes for all fields, all areas I see, especially in the mental health. That's what this video is about. It's about the mental health side of things. 'Cause I see a lot of terrible advice on the internet, but it also goes for business and entrepreneurship. You see a lot of bad advice, like, if you want to be successful, if you want to make $100,000 a month, you have to wake up at 3 in the morning and start grinding, to get your day started before everyone else. See a lot of there's bad parenting advice. There's bad car advice. There's all different fields. But like I said, I want to focus on the mental health aspect in this video because there's a lot of bad information on taking care of your health, improving your mental health and your general personal development. And so I'm not even going to give you too many specific things in this video, really just put it to the test. And you'll know through experience if it's true, and that's what real knowing is. Just because someone can record something and put it on the internet doesn't make it true, and it doesn't make them an expert. And a lot of times we seek validation, and we'll subconsciously say to ourselves, like, something seems true. We group ourselves into a box just because we want to agree or feel accepted. There's all kinds of scenarios there, but we just kind of accept things as true. Might be just feels good. We don't want our views challenged. There can be a lot of reasons to that, but again, just because someone has the ability to record something doesn't make it true. So, firstly, what do we do? What can we do? I've never been a fan of this term misinformation, but the more aware I am, the more I see little manipulations or little things that, oh yeah, this looks good. But when you really think about it or put it to the test, it's not great advice. It's not something that's true, or you literally look things up. People say things with a lot of confidence on the internet. And again, that might come off like they're an expert or what they're saying is true. Even if they are an expert, they could be wrong. And so we have to be aware of how we process the information that we're getting. So, what can we do? Remember, there's no greater teacher than experience. Experience is the only true knowing. That's how you acquire knowledge. If you don't experience something, then you don't know for yourself. If you've If you've never tasted chocolate, you can read about it all you want, but you still don't know what it tastes like. You actually have to have the experience, and then you can have a real judgment on that. You really know what it tastes like, then you can really share about it. Otherwise, you just have a belief. It's something that you read or heard from someone else. It's secondhand knowledge is not knowledge at all. It's just belief, and you have to hold that belief until you can have some kind of real basis to stand on, if that's important to you. And I'm not saying don't believe anything in life. We have to have that balance of uh, belief and faith in anything to keep going. It's hard to move through life and again as a total complete skeptic and not have belief, but we have to balance that out and make sure things align with our values and they actually can hold up to scrutiny. They can hold truth and they can serve us. A simple benign example, this one I got from my father, is you could be on your way home from work and you stop at the gas station and someone says, "Don't go that way. There's a roadblock down this road. You should go around." Now, nowadays we have technology might be a little bit easier to verify, but that's a belief. You can believe them and choose to go another way to save and thinking you might save time. But again, it's a belief, and we have that choice to have that belief and act on it or not. So, like I said, we don't have to be total skeptics, but we do need to be aware and mindful. That's where mindfulness comes into all of this. It takes self-awareness to start the process of recognizing what we're experiencing, what we're hearing, what we're believing, and what we actually know. Because a lot of times we might think we know something, but we don't. So that's the first bit of advice. And the second thing is get information, get advice, especially if you're looking at personal development, if you're looking at growing as a person, if you're looking at health, mental health, whether it's health as in diet, exercise. If just because someone says it's good for us doesn't actually mean it's good for us, no matter um, how much of an expert they might seem. We have to really put things to the test and experience them to really know. So get information from credible sources, and I can't stress how important reading books are. Reading books is, well, think about the time and energy that goes into a book, the amount of resources and research that goes into writing a book, compared to, let's say, making a 15-second on social media. So that's a huge tell right there of the amount of effort that goes into something and how credible it can be. And you can answer those questions and see what makes sense. Does that make sense to you? If someone spends years even writing a book to share knowledge, compared to if someone takes a few minutes to record a video and then edit it and put it on social media, like how much effort is really going in to verify that all of that is true? And again, what's the other thing we have to be aware of is who's sharing the information. Do they have any biases? Are they looking for personal gain? You have to look at their motivation as well. And even with books, that applies. I'm not saying books are the only solution and all social media is bad. We really have to be aware of the same concepts. So if someone has a bias, and if you know what that bias is, you can kind of take the information with a grain of salt. So something that I like to ask myself is, if I'm looking at advice or some way to improve my life, something to change, whether it's my business, my health, parenting. Ask yourself, has this person lived or are they living what they're expressing? Do you trust this person's knowledge? And often, but not always, can we trust our gut feeling? And your gut is usually right. It might not be 100%, or we might not always read the signals correctly, but your gut feeling, our gut processes a lot of information that the rest of our nervous system and our thoughts, our thinking brain, our prefrontal cortex doesn't process. And it does it a lot faster. And that's why, you get that gut feeling faster than you can process a logical thought about something or make a logical conclusion. It's your gut telling you, and that creates the bodily response, whether it's butterflies in the stomach or tightness. Um, there's all kinds of feelings that come with that. So when you're receiving information from someone, ask yourself, are they sharing information for personal gain, or do they really want to help you? If someone seems like a shady car salesman or shady salesman that makes whatever promises that they think you want to hear, they probably are. They're probably telling you what you want to hear just so to enroll you. And again, you can take me for example. Do I have real knowing, or am I just sharing things that I've heard? I mean, that might be hard to answer. If you don't know me, I run multiple businesses. I teach people mindfulness. I wrote a book on mindfulness, and that's pretty much what my entire life has been about. Just the sharing personal development and health, wellness, business practices with others, and you can verify that information. But not really. I'm just saying use me as an example because I'm right here. Um, so I'm not just saying about me and what we're talking about right now, but with anything that you're learning or any information you're getting. Um, and even the question of biases, like the answer to that previous question is yes, I have real world experience in what I'm talking about. And yes, I do have biases. I believe people should think freely, not be told how they should live their life. We should live consciously, and I think ultimately, if we're all living consciously, we don't need to tell each other how to live, how to behave, and that's a part of my bias. I believe in we should be conscious and mindful of our experiences. And that's part of why I'm making this video, so that you can recognize your own thoughts, what you're really feeling. Notice your own experiences compared to beliefs or what you heard or secondhand information. And lastly, my motivations. Do I have anything to gain from this? Maybe. You might go to my website. You might like, shameless plug. You might like my hoodie. You can buy. You can get some merch. But that's really not why I'm making this video. I'm making this video to share mindfulness, to share this reminder. Um, and also, like, part of why I do what I do is, yes, it is a little bit for personal gain to, like, I want to make the world a more conscious place. I want to make the world a better place, partially because I live in it. I want to live in a better world. I feel like that's somewhat of a selfish motivation. And I've had someone actually tell me directly that they think I'm very genuine, um, and I'm coming from a place of compassion, and I genuinely do want to make the world a better place, and not in a selfish way. But I thought about that for a second, and it's like, yeah, that I have no problem saying that that's a little bit selfish. I want to live in a better world. I want my kids to live in in a better world, a more conscious, a more loving world, a more compassionate world. So go ahead, put things to the test, make it a habit for everything that people share with you, that people tell you, to distinguish what is your knowledge that you know and that you can have a real basis to stand on, a base to stand on for agreeing with something, or if it really is just a belief, something you've heard, something you were told, something. A lot of things were told from a very early age, and that's called programming. That's ingrained in us, and we don't even recognize these patterns that didn't come from us, or they didn't come from our own experiences. They were projected onto us. And, something simple could be religion. People are born into whatever religion their family is in, and they don't really make a conscious choice of it until much later in life. So question everything, separate real knowledge, real experience from belief, and question the source of the information. Remember, any biases, any motivations, ulterior motives that someone or a party may have for sharing certain information. Who benefits from this information. That's a huge one. If you track who benefits, you can generally get your answer to whether this is something that's helpful for me or it's more helpful for the person sharing the information. That tells you if the party sharing the information is doing it to really help or if they benefit more. The person sharing or the party sharing the information benefits more than the person receiving the information. And do I have to say it that that's a sign that it's probably not the best advice if the giver is benefiting more than the giver of the giver of that advice is benefiting more than the receiver. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, stay mindful and put things to the test always. Even what I'm saying in this video, run the video back and ask these questions about me while you're watching it. As I mention the questions, you can go ahead and and play with that. You can do the analysis for yourself. So be mindful, everyone. And remember to have fun and don't be too skeptical.